Right. I need you to tell me this first one. The second one is, what is it saying? Negative 4 x to the power
of 2
x to the power of 2 times 3 x to the power
of 2.
x to the power of 2. Okay. Right. So we have two parts in these terms. So we have the numbers. So you can also do this during your test so that you don't make mistakes. The numbers, you can calculate them separately. So 4 times 3 is what?
12.
It's 12, isn't it?
Yes.
But are they both negative or both positive?
One is negative, one is positive.
Yes, and then when we multiply opposite signs, what sign do we finally get?
A negative.
A negative. Okay, so it's not 12, it's negative 12, isn't it?
12. Yes.
Then you can also do this. If I say x squared times x squared, what is it that I do to the exponents?
You add.
You add them, so it's 2 plus 2. So the final answer will be
4.
x to the power of 4.
Power of
Okay,
4.
right. So if you get both of these wrong, can your teacher give you any mark?
No.
Okay, right. So be careful, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. So let's see in the next one, what are we going to have? Right. So in the next one, we have 3 x to the power of 4. And then what is the number outside the bracket?
3.
It's 3. Okay. Right. So even here, you don't confuse yourself. You just say, I have a number, and that number must be what? 3 to the cubed, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. And then what is 3 cubed? Right. You can go to your calculator. Otherwise, you simply do this so that you don't waste time with your calculator. What is 3 times 3?
It's 6.
No.
9. 9. 9.
9.
9.
Then 9 times 3?
27.
Right. 27. Okay.
Yes.
Then what do we do when we have this calculation to make?
You add the 2 powers.
Right. So if I have x to the power of 4 times x to the power of 3, what do I do to the powers?
You add them.
You add them. Okay. And they give you x to the 7th. But in this instance, what does this tell me? It tells me that there's x to the 4 multiplied by another x to the 4 multiplied by another x to the 4.
Oh.
So how many factors are these?
3.
It's 3. So it means when we do this one, how many times are we adding that 4?
3 times.
3 times. So the final answer will be what?
64.
No, we are adding them.
Aren't we multiplying?
We are multiplying, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, right. There's a difference between when you are multiplying exponents and when you are saying 4 to the power of 3.
Yes.
4 to the power of 3, you are correct when you say it's 64, but we are not calculating the 4 to the power of 3. What are we doing? We are multiplying 3 algebraic factors, isn't it?
Yes.
And if we multiply, what is the rule? The rule
You
says
must add.
we must add the exponents if the bases are the same. So we are adding, we are not multiplying. So what will be the answer?
12.
It will be 12. Okay. Right. So if you are still not confident, you can do this so that you remind yourself what is it that you need to do. Okay.
Yes.
But what does this mean? It means that I am raising the 3. I am raising the 3 how many times? 3 times. Okay.
Yes.
Remember, what is the invisible exponent there?
1.
1. So 1 times 3 gives you what?
3.
3. The same thing. We are saying with the x to the power of 4, we are raising it 3 times. So it is basically the same as saying x to the power of 4 times 3. So if you want, you can also do this. In this step, you can say, I am raising the 3 to the power of 3. And then you do your calculations this side. Or you go to your calculator. Then you say 3 to the power of 3 is what? It is 27. And then 4 times 3 is what? It is 12. Okay.
Yes.
Right. So don't forget, don't mix multiplying these two factors when they are like this and when you are raising the power of one factor. Okay. Right. So just remember that it is like saying 4 by 3. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Let's go to the next one. Right. Let me see the next one. Right. So what do we get here? So for number 4, what do we have? We have 5 minus 3 multiplied by x plus 3 plus 6x. And then how do we do this one? What do we have here?
Brackets.
Brackets, isn't it? So we
Yes.
still use our basic
What?
laws of calculations. We start with the brackets, isn't it?
Yes.
So it means I must say in this bracket, what am I going to do? I am going to multiply each term by -3. So what will be the answer of this one?
Uh,
Right, so this is the same as saying I am taking the -3 to multiply the x, and I'm also taking the -3 to multiply the 3. What is the answer of this one? What is 3 times x?
3x.
It's 3x. And the x has what sign? Is it positive or is it negative?
The positive.
And then the 3 has a
Negative.
negative. So I have a -3 when I multiply. What about this one?
-9.
-9. Okay. Right. So it means in this simplification, the first thing you start with a bracket. Then after solving this bracket, what did we find? What did we get? We got -3x and
3x.
-9, isn't it?
9.
But
Yes.
we did not do anything with these other terms, so we rewrite them. And we are also saying that this step is a simplification of the previous step. Then what do we do in this step?
5 minus 3x.
What will that be?
It's gonna be 2x.
Okay. Can I take a number and a variable term and subtract them and say 2x? I can't, né?
Yes.
Right, this is a number. And this one is a variable term. Okay, it's a non-number variable term. So this is not a constant. Not a constant. It's not an integer. It's not a natural number. So I can't add or calculate two terms that are not the same. You only add or subtract constants together, né? Or you add or subtract like what?
Terms.
Terms. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to put the numbers together and the variables together. Okay. So what I will do, I will start with the positive variables and then put them one side. If there was another one, I would put it there. Then I will follow with the negative ones. Then I will start with the positive numbers. If there was another one, I would put it next to it. Then follow with the negative numbers. Then what will be this next step now?
Calculate all of them.
Yes. Can I say 6 minus 3 plus 5 minus 9?
No.
Okay, what must I do?
6 minus 3x.
Right, and then what does that give us?
It's going to give us positive 3x.
Positive 3x. And then these two?
It's going to give us positive 14. Is that a negative?
This is a negative.
Okay, so it's going to be positive 14.
If I have 5, if I have 5 rand and I owe you 9 rand, when I give you the 5 rand, will I be done with the payment?
No.
What would be the situation?
You'd still owe me 4 rand.
I'll still owe you 4 rand. That's how we can think about it. Okay. So in earlier grades, what did we do? We set a number with a positive. We put all the positives for that number. Okay. This is when we were trying to show you what how to deal with integers that are opposite in sign. So what would we do again? We would say, okay, for the negative 9, it means we have 9 negative ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 9. So these ones, what will they do? They will cancel one another. Then I'll be left with 1, 2, 3, 4. That are what? That are negative. Okay.
Yes.
And we also use that number line where we put all the negative numbers, and then we ask you if you are at number 5 and you move 9 places to the left, what's going to happen? Okay, so what did we do? We said, there it is. So we put numbers there. Okay, let's put numbers there. Let's say this is 0. Then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So let's say this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. So what did we do? We said you are in position 5, go back 9 places to the left. And then we went there until we got there. Right. But that is in primary school and all of that. So by now, you should be able to do this quickly in grade 8 speed, isn't it? Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Right. So you see how much it takes for you to understand one simple thing.
Yes.
It takes a lot, no? Right. So that's why with your soccer, you have to go to training every day so that you learn all these skills, how to what is it? Take place kicks, all those things. That's why you do an hour and a half on a daily basis. So this is also important. Okay, so even if you do 30 minutes on a daily basis, it will make things easy. Because how many pages now is that booklet?
It's 15 pages.
15 pages. So
Yes.
if we're gonna do this the day before the test, are we gonna be able to finish?
No.
We won't, ne? And
Yes.
it will be too much for you. Okay, so just imagine you have to go to training for 8 hours because tomorrow you have a soccer match. What's gonna be happening to your feet?
Fatigue.
Okay, they'll be sore, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, right. So I want you to take this and do the, what is it, other examples so that you are comfortable. Okay, right. So let's add in a, what is it? Let's add in an equation. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So let's add in one equation. So these ones are expressions. So I'm gonna go to something with an equation. So we did one that has, what is it? That has exponents, exponential laws. Then we did one for simplification. Let's see what we can get for an equation. Okay, right. Let me leave equations for a later session. So what you'll do, you will look for other expressions. There is another one that is simplification, which I see. Which I see on page 10. Okay. On page 10, right.
Mm-hmm.
So page 7 and 8 has some of the ones that look like the one that we did. Okay. So there's something that I've seen in page 10 which I want you to also understand. Okay, so let me go to that. You see there in G.
Yes.
All right, so I want us to do that. Okay. All right, so what does it say? It
Negative
says
2a
negative 2
a
a to the power
of 2
2 plus 2a minus 2. Everything over negative
2.
2. Okay. All right, so let's do that one. All right, so for this one, do you know where to start? Right. So it's just like numbers. This is the same as saying this one is divided by the negative 2. It's also saying that this one is divided by the negative 2. Then it's also saying that that one is divided by negative 2. Is there a variable there?
No.
There's no alphabet, isn't it?
Yes.
So the only things that I am going to calculate, which must change, will be the,
Variable.
no, there's no variable here. So will I divide with a variable?
No.
No. So I'm only dividing with a number. So same thing with addition. We only add numbers together. We multiply numbers together. So we only divide the numbers together. So what will happen here? The -2. So I'm going to say -2 divided by -2. What does it give me?
It's gonna give you a +1.
+1, isn't it? Okay. So I will have a 1a squared. Then a +2 divided by a -2 will give me what?
-1.
-1, isn't it? And then a -2 divided by a -2?
+1.
+1. Okay. But we do not write our coefficient of 1. So we just simply do this. Okay. Then can I continue and add these two variables?
Yes.
I cannot. Okay. A squared is not a like term as A. They are two different terms. So it ends just here. Okay, so for this session, I will put this video again so that you can view it, all right?
Okay.
Okay, so in the meantime, try to look for others in that workbook that are simplifying. Then I'll do one more session for our equations, okay?
Okay.
All right.